called as languages. Languages and computer languages. What is language? What is language? Language is a set of instructions which is used to communicate with the two persons. Like you can see, what is language is the first question. What is language? Language is whatever we communicate, which is used to communicate with the two or more persons. When we communicate, when we know the language, only then we can communicate with the other person. Like if one person knows Hindi and one person knows English, can they both communicate with each other? No, they cannot communicate with each other. The same way, even while working on the computer also, we need to communicate with the computer. How do we communicate with the computer? How? To communicate with the computer, we should learn the computer language. What does that computer language mean? What is computer language? Computer language is nothing but the language understood by the computer is called as a computer language. What language do our computer understand? Do anybody have any knowledge about that? Yes, computer is going to understand only one language, that is called as a machine language. Computer language is divided into two types. First one is the low level language and second one is the high level language. Low level language is again further divided into two types, that is machine language and assembly language. What does this machine language mean? The language understood by the computer or the machine is called as the machine language. Machine language, which is also called as binary language. Machine language, which is also called as binary language. Why it is called as binary language? Why? Because by. What is meant by by? By in the sense two digits. Two digits. Which are those? Zeros and ones. Only 0 and 1 are the two digits used in this language. Other than 0 and 1, there is no any other words or other digits are being used over here. Whatever we are going to write will be the combination of zeros and ones. Suppose if I want to write as a 10 plus 5, then how I am going to write? I am going to write 10, 1, 0, 1, 0, 5, 1, 0, 1. So this is 10 and this is 5. If I am going to write this 10 and 5, if I am going to write 10 plus 5, then you are going to understand. If I write the same thing in the binary numbers, are you going to understand? No. Why? Because it is being used. These are learned in the number systems, which I am going to take in the next class, this topic. But as of now, the machine language is going to understand only these binary digits. Whatever we are writing in this machine language, whatever we are giving in to the computer will be in the machine language itself. Machine language is difficult to learn and understand, as it is a combination of zeros and ones. It is very hard for the user to understand. It is very hard for the user to learn also, because everything will be the combination of zeros and ones. How can we understand if anybody knows what is binary digits and how we are going to convert it into the decimal numbers and all? Then it will be easy. But still, making the sentences in the binary using the binary digits is very tough. So that is why machine language is difficult to learn and understand, and it is machine dependent. What is mean by machine dependent? Machine dependent in the sense, suppose if we are working on one particular machine, then that same program cannot be run, cannot be executed on the other system. Why? Because it is a machine dependent. It will be working only on the single system. It cannot work on any other system. That is why machine language is called as a machine level language is called as a machine dependent. And it is very fast execution. Here the execution time, it is not going to take much execution time. Why? Because it doesn't need to translate anything to itself. It just whatever we are writing will be in the form of machine language itself. So it doesn't need any. It will execute very fast. That is why the three main important features of machine language is, first one is difficult to learn and understand. It is second one is machine dependent, and third one is fast execution. It is not going to take much time for the execution purpose. So this is about the machine language. to the assembly language. What does this assembly language mean? What happened while using the machine language? People started it was very difficult for people to understand and it was very difficult to learn also. So later what we got is the assembly language in which we started to use the mnemonics. What is meant by mnemonics? Mnemonics is nothing but the symbolic constants given to the commands. Symbolic constants means what? Symbolic constants in the sense few of the symbols will be given, few of the words will be used over here. Like for example, as we have taken here adding 2 power 10 and 5. Here in this assembly language, we are going to write like this: add 10, 5. In the sense we are using the numbers and we are using the letters. This made little bit easy for user to understand. It is not completely easy, but compared to the machine language, it made user to understand easy, or user to learn easy. Whatever we started to write, we can see add 10 and 5. When we are given 2 digits and when we are given the add command, that means we need to add 10 and 5. So the assembly language made the user bit easier to understand. Now the question arises. Our computer is going to understand only machine language. Computer don't know the assembly language or any other languages. How to do? The user knows only assembly language, but our computer understands only machine language. But I want to write this assembly language program in the computer. What to do? Let me tell you. This is the computer and this is the data. Okay, my computer understands only machine language, whereas my data is in the assembly language. My computer understands only machine language and my data is in the assembly language. Now I need to send this data to the computer. How am I going to send? I have a translator over here. This translator is called as assembler. Okay, this translator is called as assembler. This assembler is going to transfer the data which is in the form of assembly language. It is going to convert the data into machine language, and it is when it is being sent to the computer converts the data into machine language, and it is going to process and it is going to give output again in the form of assembly language itself. Why? Because the user is going to understand the assembly language and he is going to get the output in the form of assembly language itself. And it is also machine dependent. It is not machine independent. It is also machine dependent, but not completely as a machine level language systems. Okay. So what happens here? This converter is called as this translator is called as a assembler. It is going to convert the data, which is going to convert the assembly language into the machine language. This is about the low level language. Next we can see high level language. What does this high level language mean? The languages like Java, C++, Python and many other, all these languages comes under the high level language. Why all these languages are very easily understandable? That means the main features of the high level language is it is very easy to learn. It is very easy to learn and it can be understood by everyone. Whoever can see, they can be understood. It is very easy to learn and easy to understand, and it is machine independent. What does this machine independent mean? Machine independent is nothing but it can be worked, like for example, if we are working on one system for Java program, we have written on one system. The same program, if we go and execute on the other system, then it is going to execute over there also. It cannot be written only on one system and the other system. It cannot be run and executed over here. We can write the system over here and the same program can be executed over on the other system. This is called as machine independent. Okay, whereas machine independent. Next is it takes a bit. It is not much faster executable. It needs little bit of time for the execution purpose. Why? Why? Because for the execution purpose, as we are going to write in the high level language, we need to compile the data. We need to compile this program into the machine language. Compiling in the sense we need to translate the data into the machine language, and then it is going to execute. Here it is going to take little bit of time for the execution purpose. How it is being transferred? See, this is my data and this is my computer. My data is in the high level language, but my computer understands only machine language. What happens? While transferring the data from high level language to the computer, here is a translator. Here is a translator which is going to convert this high level language into machine level language. This translator, more about this translator let us learn in the next class. This translator is going to convert the high level language into machine level language. So here it takes little bit of time for the execution purpose. So these are the some features of the high level language. What are the features of the high level language? It is easy to learn, easy to understand, it is machine independent, and it takes bit slow. It is bit slow than compared to the machine language for the execution purpose, as it is going to convert from high level language to machine level language. So this is about the high level languages. This is about the computer languages. Hope everyone have understood the topic what I have taught today in today's session. If you have any difficulties or any doubts, please comment me in the comment section. We'll see you in the next session. Thank you guys. Thank you once again for watching.